Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. The All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council's Director of New Media, Femi Fani-Kayode, has called for the arrest of the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, respectively. He has also called for the arrest and prosecution of the vice presidential candidates of the two parties, Okowa, the governor of Delta State, and Datti Baba-Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party. The former aviation minister said they should be arrested for allegedly inciting and plotting a coup d'etat in the country. Of course, we all know that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi are the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party, respectively, in the February 25 presidential election held in Nigeria. And their running mates are Governor Fani-Okowa of Delta State and Dr. Yusuf Datti Baba-Ahmed. Condemning Wednesday's Free Nigeria Movement protest against the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and the conduct of the February 25 presidential election, Fani-Kayode called for their arrest and prosecution. He said their alleged open call for a coup d'etat to prevent the handover and the inauguration of Baba-Ahmed Tinubu, who was declared winner of the election, is a treasonable felony. Fani-Kayode said that shielding and protecting them from being held accountable for their utterances and actions and for supporting anarchy, chaos, treason, and rebellion is becoming increasingly dangerous and does not augur well for the peace and stability of our country. It's also important to arrest and charge to court those young men and women that participated in Tuesday's protest and openly called for a coup d'etat in order to deter others from doing so. He, however, warned that failure to arrest Obi, Atiku, the protesters, and their collaborators will encourage others to do the same, adding that there is far more to the whole thing than meet the eye. Commending the federal government on the ban placed on anti-inauguration protests, Fani-Kayode described it as encouraging. This bit kind of summary of the Fani-Kayode's call for the arrest and prosecution of the presidential candidates of the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party, Peter Obi of Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, and their running mates, Datti Ahmed of Labour Party and Fani-Okowa of the People's Democratic Party. Now, what is their offense? It says for inciting statements and for calling for a military coup. Are you getting it? Now, they also talk about that they call for interim government. First of all, let's deal with the issue of interim government before we move to the next level. The idea of interim government emanated from the ruling All Progressive Congress. It was the APC that alleged that it was their members that were plotting to install an interim government. In fact, Malam Nasir El-Rufai was on record as having said that the interim government is being planned from the villa. There are people in the presidency who are planning interim government, who are not happy about the emergence of Aswad Baba-Ahmed Tinubu as the presidential candidate of the APC. He said that the reason why there was fuel scarcity, cash scarcity, or the redesign of the naira before the election was to ensure that the election does not take place so that there will be an interim government. He even went as far as revealing that there is a retired general who has already been programmed to emerge the head of the interim government. So the interim government they are making noise about is a product of the APC. They are the one that is talking about the interim government. They are the one that started it. In 2000 and in 1999, after the election in 1999, nobody was talking about interim government because that was the year Obasanjo was elected. When Obasanjo was re-elected in 2003, before his inauguration, nobody was talking about interim government. The same thing with Yaradua when he was elected in 2007. Nobody was talking about interim government before his inauguration. When Goodluck Jonathan was elected in 2011, nobody was talking about interim government before his inauguration. In 2015, when Buhari was elected, no one was talking about interim government before his swearing in. In 2019, when he was re-elected again, nobody was talking about interim government. It was the APC that started talking about interim government in 2023. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, because of the Naira redesign policy and fuel scarcity that was prevalent before the election, concluded and revealed to Nigerians that there is a plot for the election not to take place. And he identified those who are behind it. He said, these are the people in the villa who lost out in the APC presidential primaries. It was as simple as that. That was how the issue of interim government enters into the inauguration issue in Nigeria. Whether the inauguration will take place or interim government, whether the election will take place or not. They were the one that started it. Now, Abdullahi Ganduje, the governor of Kano State, also was part of those who alleged that there was a plot for interim government. He said that Buhari has abandoned those who helped him to become president in 2015 and 2019. And it's all because of the Naira scarcity at that time and the fuel scarcity. And he said that he alleged that Association of Better Nigeria has something similar to Association of Better Nigeria that was formed or used in Scotland, the election of 1993 has emerged, but this time through the Central Bank of Nigeria. And he said that he alleged that there is that they don't want the election to hold. They want to scatter the democracy and install an interim government. So they were the one that began to come up with conspiracy theories on why there was scarcity of cash and scarcity of fuel. Of course, we all know the reason for the scarcity of the naira. It was because of the redesign of the naira and the cashless policy of the federal government. And then the scarcity of fuel, which had been happening in the country several months even before the election get closer. But these guys, these leaders of APC, say it was a plot from the presidency to scuttle the election and install an interim government. And now they are on it again. Now it is now the opposition they want to blame for any threat to the inauguration. Now, having settled that aspect, we all know that the election of 2023 had been characterized by a lot of malpractices. The local and international observers have said so. There is a lot of litigations about it. The INEC did not follow its guideline, especially on the presidential election. The election result was not transmitted from the polling unit to the IRIF and all that, as INEC had promised, both in its guidelines and in the Electoral Act. That's a fact. So it raises a lot of questions, and people have gone to court already to seek redress. At least the PDP and the Labour Party are already in court to seek redress over this, and to have the and made a lot of prayers individually for what they want the court to do. And Nigerians are waiting with bated breath for the day when the matter will start, the proceedings of the tribunal, election tribunal will begin. Okay, so that's that. So there's a lot of issue with the election, and the people have a right to go and appeal or to go to challenge the outcome of the election in the court. After all, the APC government itself told those who are aggrieved about the declaration of Baba-Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect to go to court. And that is exactly what Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar had done. Now, the issue of that they are plotting coup d'etat and that they are making insightful statements. There is nowhere I have heard these people make an exciting statement or ask people to go to the streets to protest. or to even speak that there should be a military coup. Fani-Kayode should please play that video to Nigerians to hear where these people said so. These presidential and vice presidential candidates of Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party. The only person who made reference to the military in a television interview was the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, Datti Baba-Ahmed. And what was the issue at stake? He was making reference to the fact that Buhari should not inaugurate Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he said if he does, it will be, he alleged that it will be an illegality. He cited section 134, subsection 2b of the 1999 Constitution, which states that for any presidential candidate to be declared president-elect or winner of the election, the person must first A, score majority of the votes cast in the election. B, got 25% of the votes cast in 24 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And he said that Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not meet this requirement. Therefore, swearing him in will be an illegality. And then he said that swearing Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu in under this condition, where he did not meet the requirements in Abuja, will be tantamount to swearing in a military government. That was what he said. And even the person interviewing him asked him, what is he going to do about it? He said he can't do anything about it, but it is just for them to know, that let it be known that if he is sworn in without meeting that section 134 subsection 2b requirement, it will be tantamount to a military government being sworn in. That was what he said. He never called for military coup. I have watched the interview. You can go and watch the interview with Arise and Channels Television. There's nowhere that Baba-Ahmed said that military should take over. No. And there's nowhere he mentioned that interim government should take over. He was only saying his own view, his own understanding. And he was insisting that section 134 subsection 2b is self-explanatory. And there are many who agree with him in the sense that if Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sworn in, that he will be the first president since 1999 that did not score 25% in Abuja. Of course, there are those who are arguing that Abuja is not a super state, so getting 25% in Abuja is not compulsory. But there is a rule, already a judgment in 2008, which had been cited by the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Michael Anduaka, who did say that the issue of Abuja has been settled in Buhari versus Yaradua in 2008, and that the Supreme Court in its wisdom then concluded that Abuja, that section that said that you must have 25% in 24 states of the Federation and Abuja is conjunctive. It means that you must get it. You must get 25% in Abuja. and the former resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Mike Ngini, has also said that Abuja is like a compulsory question that everyone who contests for president must answer. That is basically where Datti Baba-Ahmed stands. He was standing on the ground of Section 134, Subsection 2B, insisting that that section of the Constitution should be obeyed. I don't see how that should be interpreted as calling for military coup, or how that is a treasonable felon. Because what he's saying that that section of the Constitution should be respected. And if not that this Nigeria is a country where they don't take anything serious, this matter is supposed to be trashed out before May 29. I don't see what is delaying the judiciary from going ahead so that this matter could be settled before May 29, so that the court, the Supreme Court, will make a ruling on it. What is the position of Abuja in terms of getting 25% in a presidential election? So this thing they are doing is basically to stifle the opposition, because you can see Fani-Kayode commending the federal government that they have banned any protest against the inauguration of Baba-Ahmed Tinubu. That is not democracy, because democracy, even in the United States, there are those who are protesting the inauguration of that were protesting the inauguration of Joe Biden when he defeated the incumbent president, Donald Trump. They were protesting, including elected people. There are many members of the Congress. There are many lawmakers in America who are in the Republican. They keep on insisting that Biden did not win the election. They were not tried for treasonable felony in America because they believe that Biden did not win the election. And they didn't stop Biden from being inaugurated. And they didn't stop those people from having their position that it was Trump that won the election and that Biden didn't win it. Because every Nigerian should enjoy the rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association. Because to those who have been declared winners by INEC, the election is free and fair, everything is so nice. If the table were to turn, they would be among those who have been on the streets protesting against the same election they are now celebrating. So I don't see on the basis for the arrest of Atiku, Peter Obi, Datti Baba-Ahmed, and the Okowa as being requested or demanded by Femi Fani-Kayode. It doesn't make sense right now. That is my position on this. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.